AI can help you build a presentation that looks great, but it can quietly make you worse when it's time to deliver it. And no, this isn't an anti-AI rant. I understand why you'd use it. If you're doing a PhD, time is precious. I've been in academia. I've coached thousands of researchers, and I'm watching the same failure pattern emerge again and again. Let me show you where AI helps, where it hurts, and how to use it without paying the hidden cost. Let's start with some honesty. If you're a PhD student or postdoc, you're in an almost impossible position. Too much to do, not enough time, enormous pressure to do everything well. So of course AI is tempting. You upload your paper, Claude says, I can help. Gamma says, I can make the slides beautiful. And the output's good, sometimes very good. Prose is tight, structure's clean, slides look professional. From the outside, this feels exactly like what you need. A way to keep your head above water. The temptation, totally rational. But let me share a story about what I saw happen on stage this past fall. PhD student walked on stage, confident. He nailed the opening. Everyone was ready for the talk to be great. But then he forgot a word that didn't make sense he'd forget. I wrote it off to nerves. We all blank sometime. And then there was a transition that felt off. I didn't think much of it right away. He's early in his PhD, maybe he's just a bit awkward. But then he got stuck halfway through an analogy. He lost his footing. And that's when I realized what was going on. He hadn't actually written the talk, AI had. I looked around, wondering how many other people noticed. Afterwards, I talked quietly with a few professors. We all had come to the same conclusion. AI had written that talk, and he lost all his credibility. His research was good, but none of us really cared. We didn't trust him. And that's the pattern I'm seeing. The talk starts well, in fact, often better than most. And then the speaker forgets a word they shouldn't, they botch a transition, a sentence comes out that people who know them recognize isn't them, and then they start to sense they've maybe been caught, and from there something subtle but serious starts to happen. Their confidence dips, their pacing shifts, their grounding disappears. Not because they don't know their research, but because they don't understand the thinking that produced the talk. You see, when you build a presentation yourself, you're not just creating slides. You're building a mental map of the argument, ownership over the transitions, recovery paths for when something goes wrong. AI shortcuts that process. And when that learning loop is missing, the wheels come off under pressure. And this connects to a bigger problem. Not only does your talk fail, but you're missing the opportunity to develop your voice. And as a PhD or other early career researcher, this hits you the hardest. Senior researchers, they already have a voice. They've spent years figuring it out. How they naturally explain things, where they push, where they soften, which framings actually feel like them. But PhDs, you're still in a developmental stage. You're not just learning content. You're learning how you think out loud. You're discovering which explanations resonate when they come out of your mouth, which metaphors feel forced, which feel natural. What language do you naturally use when you speak? That only happens by doing the work. If you outsource that work too early, you undermine your own development. And there's another layer here that's easy to miss. At this stage, you don't actually have enough raw material for AI to sound like you. You haven't given dozens of talks. You haven't written in your own voice consistently across contexts. So when you ask AI to generate a presentation, it can't sound like you. What it does instead is to generate a voice that sounds fluent, confident, academically rigorous. And because it's trained on the center of the academic distribution, that voice sounds a lot like everyone else using it. So the danger isn't just inauthenticity. It's sounding like everyone else at exactly the moment when you're supposed to be forming a distinctive voice. You're letting AI do your voice development for you, and the voice it develops is generic, by definition. Here's the distinction I'm landing on. Using AI to replace thinking is risky. Using AI to stress test thinking That's powerful. That's why in the presentation course I'm building for PhDs, postdocs, early career researchers, there are no AI agents that build the presentation for you. But there are AI agents trained to give you feedback. Feedback about what an audience is likely to hear, stress testing visuals for clarity, helping you practice Q&A, one of the hardest things to rehearse alone. You do the structuring, you wrestle with the narrative, you generate the raw material. AI comes in after to sharpen, not replace. That way, when something wobbles on stage, and it always does, you're still standing on your own work. AI can save you time, but presentation development can't be outsourced without a cost. Use AI to support your thinking, but don't use it to think for you. And develop your own voice, one that you do better than anyone else. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you want to learn more about that course I'm building, one that will help you build your talk without AI, but has agents to help you stress test your talk, follow the link below. I'd love to help you develop your voice and gain enough confidence in it that you become excited to present from on stage.